I do it 4 nights a week, and sometimes more. Just depends on season and how busy places are. But I try to keep it at 4 days a week and just there because I don't like to overwork myself. Oh, I do. I do. I've worked in Canada, Texas, Las Vegas, so worked all over. It is. It is very weird because you never know what you're going to see or what you're going to get into. You know, because originally it really started off as more of a impersonation thing where, you know, everyone would impersonate celebrities, and it goes back a lot further because, of course, you know, they wouldn't let women play parts or whatever, but it graduated and it's changed, and so now you can see anything. You can really see a lot of stuff. My name is Hershae Chocolatae, and I approve this project. Thank you. Well, this drag is a form of entertainment for me, mostly, and it's allowed me a lot of great opportunities, and it's really good entertainment, and it's fun. It's a fun job. You can make anywhere from, you know, $8,000 a year to $65,000 a year. You know, it just varies on how good you are and if you're worth it. I was a stripper, and my quote-unquote drag mother, Nadira, saw me stripping one night and asked when I would start doing drag, and I told her never because I'm a man. And she said, well, the way you dance, you need to do drag. And so I said, well, the only way I would do it is if I got to wear all your clothes. And she said, okay. So the next week, I went and saw her because I heard about a pageant and I wanted to do it. It was in my hometown of Sandusky. And I went to Deb's and I bought some clothes and bought some, you know, L'Oreal and some Maybelline and put it all on and went up to Bowling Green and saw her, and I said, how do I look? And she said, great, you want to do the show, baby? And I said, no, I don't have anything. She said, you're doing the show. I said, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. The owner of the bar walks in, tells me, actually tells Nadira, oh, is she in the show? And she goes, yes, and I yell, no. And, well, let's see what you got. I'm not doing the show. You know, we got in an argument, and next thing I know, I'm on stage, crowds screaming, and I'm addicted.
Hold up, baby girl, got a problem.
I have no desire to have breasts. I have no desire to change anything, and though I do have these acrylic nails on all the time, you know, I'm still all man, and I'm okay with that, and I like that. I appreciate being able to take my breast off and put them in a box and deal with that later. Well, I do set my price. It depends on how far I have to go and how much I really have to do, or also depends on if it's a good situation for me, because, for instance, there's a place down in Monroe, Ohio that I go that I'll charge less because they're really, really, really fun, and they give me really, really, really big Long Island iced teas. Some places they only want you to do like 2 numbers, and there's another place that I work at that likes 5, and they really like to put us to work. But if the case is that I'm emceeing, then of course I would probably open up the show and say something and introduce the other entertainers, and depending on the place, the show usually runs from about an hour, 2 hours, maybe 3, depending on the place, because some places like a longer show.
May it forever give me this loud, booming voice that shoots across the microphone and speaker airwaves. Cheers. Cheers. I didn't need a reason. I just made something up.
Pageants are awesome. I love pageants. Pageants it's kind of like, Miss America and Miss Universe, except drag queens. And we have a talent competition, evening gown and interviews and the whole nine, except we get to have backup dancers, and sometimes we look like celebrities, sometimes we don't, and it's fun. It's really fun. I love pageants. Well, they vary. They vary. The prizes can be small as $100, or if you get into the national level, they can be as high as $10,000 and $12,000. If there was no competition, I don't think anyone would get better with it. No one would try to step their game up so that they could be usable in shows elsewhere, not just in one place. And I do that too. I constantly work on rebuilding myself and making myself fresh, so that it's not the same old boring drag show. And if I do happen to do an old number, I try to give them new hair or a new costume at the very least, so it's gonna like, oh, again, great. So, like, I do live singing talents in character, so like Tina and Macy, and so I've been going to a voice coach to help me stay in character, because I try to make sure that there is no confusion about me. And I can tell you a funny story. Once I was at a club and I had gone outside. It was after the show, and I was really warm, so I went outside. I was still in drag, and I was talking to the security guard, and a gentleman walks up, and he asks, he asked me my name, and I told him it was Hershae, and he told me I was very pretty. I reminded him of his ex-wife, and I wasn't sure if that was really a good thing, so I said, thanks. And he said, yeah, and he said, you're just so beautiful. And I said, I noticed you're looking at my breast. And he said, I am. And I said, would you like to play with them? And he said, yes. He was really into it. And I said, okay. So I took one out and I handed it to him. And he goes, and I took my breast back and I continued my conversation with the security guard. And he just kind of disappeared. I haven't had anything too outlandish, luckily, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. Well, I never actually received negative feedback from like family or anything. It was more of my mother, for instance. She thought it was pretty much a phase that I was going through, and that it was something that would pass until one year, I believe it was on her birthday, me and my other half, we went to Youngstown. I had a show where she lived, and my other half told her that she was going to the show, and she was getting ready to argue, I believe, and he said, no, I don't want to hear it. You're going, you'll be there, we'll have your drink ready, and you'll be there. And after that, she became an instant fan. So since then, other family members have come to the show. My aunt in Detroit and my aunt where my mom lives, and so it's getting a much better response than I thought it would. My message to people would be, don't be afraid of what you don't understand, and that we only bite if you ask. And if you wonder what we are about, come check us out. And if you don't like what you see, you don't have to stay. But we'll still be here, so get used to us.
for Hershae Chocolatae.